set the tone.
Let's go Bandits! Let's go Bandits! Yeah! Let's go Bandits!
If someone else wants the title, they got to come through Banditland first.
This place is so difficult to play in.
Well, the stage is set. The Buffalo Bandits are back in the NLL Finals for the 5th straight year. And Game 1 is this Friday night at 7:30 right here in Buffalo against the Saskatchewan Rush.
Buffalo is trying for a 3rd NLL championship in a row. We're joined now by one of the team's leading point scorers and just announced today the NLL Sportsmanship Award winner, Kyle Buchanan. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Since we're talking about this award first today, this is newsworthy today. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, obviously, it's always nice to be recognized, by the league and by your peers. Maybe one that my mom would like a little bit more than some others. But again, just eyes on the bigger goal right now on this weekend. But it's, again, nice to be recognized.
Set up, if you would, Kyle, this coming series, the finals here, different from the semifinals in what way in terms of the teams you're facing, their strengths and weaknesses? Give us a preview of what fans can expect starting on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we played, I think the quarterfinals and semifinals were both really physical series. A couple of teams that, were kind of recognized as hot later in the year, and I think running into some hot goalies as well and some hot offenses. So, this weekend in Saskatchewan, a very athletic team, a team that gets up and down the floor, maybe not as physical, but very skilled. They're riding a hot goaltender as well, and they've been on a streak. And again, their record shows, and they were 13-5, same as us this year. It's going to be an amazing series.
Hot goalies, you just mentioned. We talked to your goalie, Matt Vince, last week. He's a finalist for Goalie of the Year. Talk about him and, playing for him and how hot he's been lately, too.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to play with Vino for quite a while now, and he just amazes people every year. I think the expectations sort of change. They think, oh, is he done? I think he's just such a rock for us. He's great in the dressing room. Just a great mentor, treats his body right, just a great role model for all our younger guys as well, and then continues to go out and perform in big games, and that's why he's probably the best of all time. We love the safety net that we sort of have back there with him, and then he lets us go to work on our offense.
How does that free you guys up, Kyle? I mean, is it just that simple? The confidence that you have back there in net that gives you guys the ability to just literally free your minds and play your game? Is that pretty much what it is?
Yeah, there's certainly some comfort there. I don't know if you want to rely on that too much. We have a pretty dynamic offense as well. We don't want to start games too slow, but if we were to start a game, slower than we'd like, then we have that confidence back there. We have a veteran group back there as well that soak a lot of shots and let us get into our rhythm. So it certainly lets us free us up, and we can kind of attack and play our game off of that.
You played the Rush back in March. You won that game. You scored in that game. Are you watching that film back from that specific game ahead of this matchup?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you can take some things away that were successful from that game, but a lot's changed since then. They're going to watch film on us. We're going to watch film on them. I think it's more relevant to look at what they've done lately. But again, they're a really solid team. We're going to have to game plan, but we're just excited for Friday night in Buffalo and to get things rolling.
Let's talk a little bit about that. We had Dane on a couple of weeks ago. We had Matt on last week. We'll ask you the same question. What is it like being in the building there at KeyBank? I'm going on Friday. I'm taking my daughter. Nice. She also plays lacrosse. So we are super, super pumped for this, Kyle. What is it like for folks who have not experienced a night of Banditland?
No, it's absolutely crazy. It's hard to describe. I think, every game you think, oh, we're used to this. And then, you get the chills. You hear the bagpipes coming down and you get to run out on the floor and everyone's going crazy. There's all different chants. The music's going. Our PA guy, Swenny, does a great job on the mic, keeping the fans engaged as well. And, I know friends and family that come to a game in Buffalo and won't go to another game elsewhere just because of the experience it is. And, it doesn't hurt that we've had some success over the last couple of years. So we're really excited. And as the games get more intense and as things pick up, they just support us even more.
I want to go back to the Sportsmanship Award. You mentioned that your daughters are really important in winning this. Talk about them and how excited they are for you to win this thing and how they kind of push you.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you never know that you're going to get a chance to play in front of, your daughters or your kids, no matter who you are. I know Vino's experienced something similar to that as well, where their kids are now old enough to experience it and understand that, dads living out their dream and really enjoying what we're doing. And I think, speaking back to the award, it's all about being a good teammate and just working hard. And I think, just about being a good person. We have a ton of those in Buffalo. A bunch of guys could have won that award. But it's really cool just to experience it with them and my wife, and have my family come in from, I'm an hour and 20 away from Buffalo, have them come in, and have my family from Ottawa drive up for games. It's just super amazing to experience that stuff. And again, to have two girls' little eyes watching you in the stands is pretty special. And I don't take that for granted every game.
Oh, man, let's just leave it there. That was a great answer. Great question, Kels. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck. Congratulations on the award. Obviously, it's well-earned. You seem like a very nice person. So sportsmanship, no doubt. Kyle, thanks so much, man.
Thanks so much. Enjoy the game Friday.
We'll be rooting you on. Go Bandits. We'll be right back. Thanks, Kyle.